Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Divine Cupid podcast. If you're new, I'm your host, India Watson, and if you're not new, welcome back. So guys, welcome back to another episode of my podcast. I'm really excited. So look, I have like a little like BS excuse, whatever, but my podcast audio is like nothing has been working lately. All my audio and my video has not been matching. I've been trying to figure it out. I've been trying to download different things, paying for different subscriptions. That's not the point. That's not what I want to talk about. Today's podcast episode, I have so many things that I wanted to say and so many things that I wanted to talk about and just so many things that I have like planned out I wanted to do. And just like I don't know if I told you guys, I started a new job. I have 3 jobs now. I'm always busy. I'm never really at home. I never really get like time to relax or whatever. But I don't know, I've been like, my kids, I don't want to call them my kids, but the kids that I work with have been kind of asking me because they know I have 3 jobs. So they're like, what do you want to do with your life? And I'm like, honestly, I have no clue. But what I do know is I love talking. I love talking, and I love the fact that I have a podcast, and I really feel like my podcast can thrive in ways that like, I wouldn't have expected it to. And like in that, I want to kind of like get into I don't know how to do it, but I want to be like a TED talker, kind of like, I want to be like a public speaker. Like I want to go to places and like speak to people and like, be like a motivational speaker in a way, or like, like a life coach kind of, but not necessarily that. I don't know what I want to do, but I also do want to be like, I'm going to go doctor, not the point. My birthday, my birthday is in a couple of minutes, and I wanted to do a podcast episode, and I've been wanting to do this episode for a really long time. About 19 things I've learned before turning 19. So I don't know, like I probably shouldn't ever like say my age, but I don't care. I am turning 19 in like 20 minutes. And I wanted to talk about a couple things that I learned before turning 19, because I feel like I always like do reflections of like the year that I lived and like what that year brought for me and like what I gained from that, what experiences I went through. Like 17 taught me something. What have I learned from 17 that I can take and go into 18 with? 18, like what have I learned from being 18 that I can take into going to 19? Honestly, like being 18 years old, I feel like I've given myself a lot of room to grow and thrive, especially because I feel like I've gone through so many things that I didn't think I would be going through, like, grief, setback, hardship, like just the expectancy that life is supposed to go a certain way for me and it's not, and like how I have adjusted to that and how I have maintained my composure through any of that, because I feel like it's really easy to like give up when you're not getting your way. I'm a spoiled child, I'm a spoiled girl, I get everything I want. No is not a big factor, but it's like when you're kind of in the face of setback, life can tell you no, and you have to suck it up and you have to figure out a way to go about it and go around it and not let life push you down because your plan isn't going the way that you expected, and the ideas that you had for yourself aren't going as anticipated. Like, you can't let that keep you down. Like, don't let setback keep you down. Don't let it hold you down. Find a way to go around it and about it. I'm so content with my life. I wish I could explain that so much more, but I'm so happy because I feel like God has blessed me so much that it has given me the desire and the heart to want to adjust and be different in the face and in the likeness of others. I feel like I just like met a friend, or like made a friend recently, and like I've kind of had like a switch in my brain that was like, I want to be softer. And like I like to think about my thoughts a little bit, because it's like, okay, I think this, but why am I thinking this, and what does this thought like mean to me? But like I want to be softer for the people around me. Yeah, I have a very tendency, I'm a very joking person. I do say like things that kind of come off as harsh. My tone is harsh, like I sometimes, not all the time, and this is my personality. I like to joke around that way. I grew up like making jokes is kind of like my thing. That's how I like show you that I'm like, I like you, I care about you, because you're gonna be nice to everybody when you meet them, but like I feel like when you can show like a sense of personality and a kind of like hard body kind of self, it makes people feel more closer and connected and comfortable with you in a way. That's how I feel about it personally. But I want to be softer with people around me in a sense of being able to vocalize my love for them, my care for them, I've always struggled being very affectionate. It's always been very hard for me to tell you how I like you so much, because I feel like the more I praise you, the more of a disappointment it'd be when you don't meet my standards or expectations and expectancies for a friendship or a relationship or whatever. That I don't want to see you less because I thought of you so high and I gave you such a high horse. I want to let go of those expectations and standards for other people, and I just want to love them for who they are, because I'm trying to love myself for who I am. And I think that's a prime reason, which is why I'm always like, the way that you treat yourself will affect how you treat others, because I'm trying to learn how to love myself despite all my flaws, like, making so many mistakes, especially with dating. I always talk about relationships, I always talk about those things, but I feel like I always talk about like how important self-love is and the vitality of that, but I never want to negate how important it is to also experience like a romantic love, and how important it is to have friends who love you, and to be surrounded by love, not just the love that you give yourself, but the love that you feel from others. And I think, obviously, being so heavily like focused on this and talking about self-love and my podcast and as a whole, I think it's important that when love does come find you, which is another thing that I've learned, but when love finds you, not to be fearful of it and not to self-sabotage it. We believe that we don't deserve good things when we genuinely do. When good things happen to us, we kind of expect like something bad to occur. We never really allow ourselves to enjoy and live in the moment and be present about anything. We're always anticipating the worst. When sis is like, I'm tired of anticipating the worst, like, that's what came to mind. But we always anticipate the worst. We always expect things to go bad. I don't know why we've so convinced ourselves that we don't deserve good things, but we do. So when love finds you again, and when love touches your heart, and when it makes you feel like comfortable and open enough to be in that space of letting somebody else in, don't reject that. Don't reject it. Don't push it away. Don't try to fight it. Like, allow yourself to deserve good things. I think it's time that, like, being 19, because honestly, like, my thought process with being 19 is how to brace myself for being 20. And I know I'm jumping the gun, like, girl, enjoy being 19. You're not even 19 yet. Like, enjoy that. But I really do want to go into my adulthood and in my adult life, letting my teen years shape me into the woman that I want to be, and the mindset that I want to have, and the way that I want to adapt and carry myself into this life. Because it's like, if I don't learn now, when will I learn? And like, you can, I don't believe there is an idea of learning too late, but you can be in a situation where it's like, if only you took the time to focus on this sooner, you would be where you're at, or where you needed to be faster. But obviously everything happens for a reason. I don't know, being kinder to people, being nicer to people. I don't want to get on my podcast and pretend to be some fake nice, fake girl. Like, I'm still a real person, and I still have real thoughts. I still say real things. I still like backslide, controversial things come out of my mouth sometimes, and I'm just like very blunt and honest, and I'm not consciously thinking, which is another thing I want to work on, like consciously thinking, being consciously considerate. But I don't ever want to get on this podcast and make it seem to you guys like I want to have this facade and this personality where, I'm so much livelier and better and open-minded as a person on the internet, because I always want to carry myself the same. I don't know, like, I don't like the idea. Like, I want to be very open with my podcast. I want to be very in tune with my podcast. I really want to carry my podcast into my adulthood life. Like, this is not something I ever think I want to stop. Like, I love this. This is fun for me. This is enjoyable. I like talking to myself in my room. Like, I love it. And I also just don't want it to seem like I'm a certain type of way that I'm actually not. Like, and I think everybody's going to experience and have different perceptions of you. But regardless, I think in all my life's instances, the things that I say in most parts are the same on a podcast and in real life. Not caring too much about what other people think. I think that's so vital. Living your life for the sake of other people. It's so crazy, because it's like, you want people to validate you, and you want people to affirm something in you. I want that so deeply, that I want people to not see me as the same 16-year-old, the same 17-year-old. I want people to believe that I've changed, I've grown, I've learned, like, we can try again, we can try again. I have boundaries now, and like, you can't disrespect me that way. Like, I wouldn't let you talk to me, I wouldn't let you do those things to me. I don't have to explain that to you. I don't have to prove that to you. I don't have to live my life with the hope that you're going to notice how much I've grown and changed as a person, because I've always said, like, people don't really come back into your life for the right reasons. I think people serve their purpose. I say this so many times, I talk about this so many times. I think people serve their purpose in your life, but it's like, just because they're no longer in your life, I feel like you need to stop holding a vendetta and a grudge against yourself, thinking it was necessarily your fault, or it could have been different. Focusing on like so many hypotheticals. Take it as what it's supposed to be, and let life just continue to live and run its course. Like, your life this is not the end of the world for you. You might think like, oh my gosh, I lost my best friend. Like, I lost both my best friends. Like, I don't talk to either of them. This is my first birthday where I didn't tell them happy birthday. They're not wishing me a happy birthday. And it's like, it would suck if I was thinking about it and I was dwelling on it, and if I was like, oh my gosh, I lost my best friends. Like, like, no, I feel like they were supposed to play vital roles in my life at the time where I needed them the most, and they were there. Like, I feel like that's the least I can give them, is their props for being my friend in the time where I needed them to be my friend. Like, we may not be friends now, but it's like there never has to be like a vendetta against myself because I lost a friendship that I valued, or there doesn't need to be a vendetta against myself because I should have said something or I shouldn't have said something in a situation where, you know, I could have spoke up and I could have kept quiet and I chose to do vice versa. I shouldn't hold that grudge against myself. I believe that they were meant to play a role in my life, and they're no longer playing that role. Our story is cut short, and it's not even cut short, it's done. Like, it's done and it's over, and I don't need to fight for it back. And I think you need to take that lesson into life. Like, when a story is over, you do not need to keep begging for the author to keep writing the page. You are the author. Write your own page and change the narrative. Change what you want to do about it. Like, you want to sit and wallow and be sad and be depressed while other people are living their lives, and it's like, you're going to constantly let life pass you by, you know? For someone who's always struggled with just being really, really sad and really depressed, it's like the world kept spinning. No matter what, when I was wallowing in my bed, the world kept spinning. Everybody was going on about their daily life agenda. You know, I'm sad and crying, and, you know, like, I'm missing days of things that might potentially be important to me, and all for someone who's having a great time in their life, you know, not focused on what they couldn't control. And I don't know, that's something that I needs to be taken into consideration with life. Also, not being shy. I don't know. You guys can be like, you're not really a shy girl. Like, for the people that actually, like, know me, like, not being a shy person. But, like, I have a chronic fear of rejection. Like, today, me and my friends went to dinner for, like, my birthday celebration. And there was this guy, and I was like, he is so cute. And I promise you, like, I'm walking, I'm looking, I'm staring. I'm like, oh, my gosh, he's so... I was like, he's so fine. Like, hold on. Like, wait. But I was like, they were like, go talk to him. Like, go get his Instagram. Go tell him you think he's cute. I was like, no, let's go. Let's go. Like, life is too short to just be wondering about being rejected and not being appreciated. Like, girl, if you're letting other people validate your self-worth and what they feel about you based on if you get an Instagram or not, you need to do something else with your life. And that's something I need to tell myself, because I think it's never really that deep. Like, it's not like I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to get down on one knee and propose to this man, like, we gotta get married tonight. Like, no. It's just like, whatever. And I think when you have such a, like, fear of doing things, even such insignificant things like getting someone's Instagram, you're gonna have fear doing so many big things in your life that it's like, you never took the risk then at something so stupid and so little. How do you expect to take the risk now? Like, you couldn't do it then, and now you think because something bigger and deeper is on the line. Like, obviously the face of rejection is hard. It's hard being rejected. It's hard being like, am I not pretty enough, or am I not this enough, or maybe I'm not their type, or just overthinking things that don't really matter. Like, hello, that shouldn't validate you. So it's like when you have a job opportunity on the line, and it's like, ugh, like, stay in my place of comfort or branch out to doing something that I really, really, really would like and enjoy, but I don't know because I'm in such an uncomfortable place and I don't want to be in the face of failure. You just missed such a beautiful opportunity because you were scared of something. Like, I don't know, something so insignificant that it's like, hello, feel the fear, feel the fear. And, like, keep it pushing. Like, keep it pushing. Keep it pee. Don't stop doing nothing. Keep going with what you want to go through and get towards and get that. Go towards your goals. Working through. Oh, my gosh, guys. I don't know if I told you about my jobs, but I work with kids. I love it. I was talking about my coworker with this, but when I first had started, I started in, like, winter, my first job, and, like, I just recently started my third job. But I had started, and a little through the line, like, I had got my heart broken. I feel like I was just shattered, like, and not even like a really, like, deep and empowering and significant way, but it was just like my feelings were hurt because this was the first time in a while that I felt like I could let somebody into my bubble, and I felt like I watched my bubble just pop in front of me. Like, I was like, damn, like, I watched it pop, and I watched them, like, keep popping my bubble. Like, I keep trying to blow the bubble again, and it just kept popping. And, like, for a really long time, I had a really heavy heart going to work. I would cry a lot, and, like, even when the situation got better, I had other things arise in me internally and just externally that made me feel just sad and, like, really sad. And it was really hard to just, like, want to go to work because it's like I want to be sad in my bed. Like, I don't want to go to work. I had no days off. Y'all know I work every day. Like, every day. I think my only off day is Sunday, and on a Sunday it's like my room is so, like, disgustingly gross that I can't feel comfortable, that I have to, like, try to force myself to clean it. So I was just really, really going through it. I was going through it. I was being dragged through the mud. And working with those kids every day brought the biggest smile on my face. And like, it made me so happy because it's like, I look at them and first up, I work with like kindergartners and stuff, preschoolers, like babies. They're always hugging me. They're always like, oh, come with me to the cafeteria, ask me to tie their shoes, showing me little things that I don't even know what I'm looking at. And I love it. Like, I feel so good. They make me feel so good about myself. They make me feel like my problems are like boom in the air. Like, I felt so good. I'm so thankful because it's like I don't think, when I think about my life, I thought I was gonna be a Fullerton. I thought I was gonna be Clyde. I thought I was gonna be young, turned lit. I thought it was gonna be great. No, baby, I'm home. I'm home. Home in community college. I'm on the dean's list. I never, ever thought I would be smart and like on the dean's list. And I'm still not probably like, I'm not teed, but hey, I'm up there. And I don't give myself no props, no pat on the back. And that's what I got to start doing. You got to start doing that. You got to start telling yourself, like, I did a good job. Like, I did that. Like, I don't know. We never celebrate ourselves. I don't celebrate myself. Like, you know, I let my feelings consume me. I got to stop doing that. I love my life. I love my littles. I love being at my jobs. Like, I love being around kids. They make me feel great. I love feeling like I'm doing something with my life and I'm making an impact, because it's really hard having a job. I'm like, I love customer service. I love talking to people. Y'all know I yap my ass off. So, of course, I love a good opportunity to open this mouth, open this trap. And customer service just wasn't doing it for me, because when you're getting rude, baby, I'm getting rude back. Like, can I go get that booth? No, can you? No. So that's me. Like, can you go wipe that table down? No, I can't. Now we're looking at each other a little crazy, huh? Like, no, I can't, baby. I'm not a busser. I'm a host. So, like, I don't know. That just wasn't really doing it for me, even though I love my job. I loved that. I love my coworkers. But that job wasn't really like doing it. The other jobs I had, they definitely weren't doing it. This job, I feel fantastic. I feel like every day, like, and the kids like look forward to seeing me, which makes me feel so good. And just like the middle schoolers I work with, like, they're opening up to me now, and that makes me feel really good, because it's so hard it makes me rounded as a person. Like, I'm my age and I'm interacting with little kids, 6th graders, 5th graders, 6th graders, 7th graders, 8th graders. Do you know how well that rounds me as an individual? Because now I'm in a space where I'm working with adults. I'm working with kids. I'm interacting with my age level, my peers. Like, that helps me build patience. That helps me build kindness. That helps me build, like, so many good communication and people skills, because it's so important that you learn how to work with all kinds of people, despite whatever they're going through. Like, you know, learning to not make insensitive comments and helping children regulate how to interact with other people. Like, ain't no cussing at each other, like, no talking down on each other. Like, you know, it helps you kind of revamp what it means to be a good person, a decent person. And I think that's really what has helped me and what has like moved me in my life. You know, I've learned to take my life more serious. I've learned to take myself more serious, my self-respect more serious. Like, won't let nobody come up in my space and disrespect me. I don't know who you think you're talking to, messing with, doing none of that. Nah, it don't go over here. It's strict over here, real strict. And I don't know, I've learned to make myself more of a prerogative. And when I turn 19, if I am 19, I am 19. Happy birthday to me. But yeah, as I turn 19, I'm gonna continue to be in the space of like focusing on what is most important, my mental, my emotional, you know, being consciously considerate, you know, moving through things in the way that I feel like they need to be moved through, letting things come to me in a natural and healthy way, you know, not being obsessive, emotionally, like, you know, like learning to maintain the things that I can control, focusing on control and what is in my ability to control and handle and what isn't. And yeah, just, I don't know. I love you guys. I will see you guys soon. I'm gonna upload this ASAP, because I don't want to be like, oh, it's my birthday, and then it's like 3 weeks out and y'all are like, happy birthday, and I'm like, God, that was 3 weeks ago. But no, if you guys enjoyed today's podcast episode, please share it with your friends. Please, I beg, share it with your friends. You can follow me on Instagram at India with 3 A's Watson. You can follow my podcast account at The Divine Cupid. You can follow me on TikTok at The Divine Cupid. And that's it. I love you guys so much, and I will see you soon.